This is an advanced Forex trading strategy specifically for advanced no-nonsense Forex traders. What could it be? How well does it work? Why am I showing you a picture of a bridge? Stay tuned. So as I just said, this one is specifically for the homies, people who have been with me for a while, people who have put together the entire algorithm that I've showed you already, and people who have already put some time in trading with that system. So this actually does apply to quite a few of you out there, I'd imagine. But I'd like to keep this particular video rather short. So in this video, showing you a tactic that really the people who have been with this channel throughout almost every video I have done up until now. This is really for them. If you haven't done that yet, that's totally fine. This video is not going anywhere. But it might be over a lot of people's heads, and I don't want them asking questions if they don't really understand what we're doing here. But also I felt like this is something I really should not have mentioned a long time ago. When I was showing you the algorithm, it would have just been too much information. I think you guys will understand why once you see it. And it's going to make you more pips towards your bottom line every year if you do this the right way. It has for me. Ever since I started doing it, it's been great. But remember too, traders, we win by not losing. So this is something that is going to save you pips, not gain you more pips. But as you all know by now, it affects your bottom line the exact same way. Pips are going into your pocket whether you make them or save them. If you do something that gives you a trade that makes you 100 pips, your bottom line goes up. If you find a way to eliminate a 100 pip loss from your trading, your account goes up. Same way. So I'm pretty excited to bring this to you. Now, you have to understand, though, this does not apply to everybody, even if you have been trading with us for a while. Your main confirmation indicator needs to be a 2 lines cross indicator. I don't know how well this works for zero cross. I don't know how this works for chart indicators, but if your confirmation indicator is a 2 lines cross, this thing works particularly well. Also, things like the 1 candle rule don't apply here because this is one of those things where we first look at our baseline and then simply look down to see if everything else agrees. All right? Just like a classic baseline entry trade. And remember, we win by not losing. I'm going to show you what this can possibly do to your bottom line, but that bottom line will be going up by the amount of pips you're saving, not actually gaining. All right, so what is this advanced tactic? It's something I call a bridge too far. All right, this might not make any sense to you, but I just name things what I name them. Back when I did this, I didn't think I was going to be really explaining it to anybody else like this. So I just had to name it something that made sense to me. So what it is, let's say just for a long trade, okay, just to make it easy. Price crosses and closes past your baseline, going long, and everything else lines up. All of your other indicators say cool. You didn't go too far past the baseline to where you have to wait for a pullback. It is just your classic baseline entry trade. Everything is saying go. Now, if your confirmation indicator crossed long 7 candles before the candle you were looking at right now, it's gone too far, and you don't take the trade. Simple as that. You just pass. Now, this phenomenon does not happen super often, but when it does, it almost never ends up being a winning trade. Every once in a great while it does, but it's so seldom I don't get mad at it because I know how many pips this thing has saved me in the past, and it's one of those things at the time you're kind of bummed because you want to take the trade and you don't, but a few candles later you're like, wow, this thing really does work well. At least it does for me. Your system looks like mine to a degree, but it doesn't completely look like mine. But I'm going to show this to you anyway, and you can test it for yourself and see how well it does work. Let's go ahead and go to my charts and I will show you what it looks like. So here we are at the euro dollar daily chart, and let me tell you what we have going on. So for my baseline, we just use the 20 period SMA. You guys have seen me use this before. And for my confirmation indicator, we're going to use the relative vigor index. You have seen me use this before, but you've seen it in the exit indicators video, I think. I think that's where I used it, and even then I said, look guys, you can do way better than this. So I don't even use this for a confirmation indicator. I never would. But a lot of people do, and the best thing about it is for teaching purposes, it's very easy to see and understand. Every time the green is above the red, that's a long. When it goes below it, that's a short. Super easy. So I'm just throwing these two indicators up. You will obviously have better results yourself because you have hand-picked indicators, and I'm just kind of tossing these randos up here to see how they do. So when I did it this way, on the euro dollar, I found one case where I found a bridge too far. Right here. So you see this candle, after this little gap up, price crossed and closed above the baseline, giving you a long entry. I look down, is my main confirmation indicator also saying long? Yes, it is. Cool. So if we're just looking at these two indicators, we have a long trade. We're not even looking at the other ones. We'll just go ahead and assume they say go. But I would not take this trade. All right. Why is that? Because my confirmation indicator gave me a long signal initially so long ago that this bridge has gone too far. And so when I got the signal, I count backwards. All right, 7's a magic number. Let's see how far it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I look down? Has it already crossed long? This is hard to do and make videos at the same time. Yes, it has. 7 candles ago, this thing was still long, and it never crossed down and came back up. It just stayed long this entire time. This is a bridge too far. All right. 8 candles ago, you could debate it, but 7 candles definitely fell into that territory. All right, you guys get it? I hope you do. Let me show you another example here. So what about this one? This is a long signal too. Price crossed and closed above the baseline for the first time in a while. We look down. RVI says go. Now, how many candles ago did it cross? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, only 4. So this is totally fine. No problems here. But anything that goes 7 candles back and beyond, you don't take that trade. And that was a good thing too, because there were no pips to be had here. That was an immediate loss. Let's see how many pips that would have potentially lost you here. Once it closed back down across your baseline, we always exit. So about 58 pips. And I did not see this happen really anywhere else. Now I want you to keep in mind, we have about a 6-month sample size in front of us. From end of February to where we are now, towards the end of July. So once every 6 months, you can kind of say, but I went to the dollar-yen and I didn't see this happen at all in 6 months. Doesn't mean it won't by the end of the year, but it just hasn't yet. But then I went to the dollar-CAD, and I saw it happen again one time, I think, right here. So let's look at this one. This will be for a short. So price crossed and closed below the baseline. Our confirmation indicator says short is the way to go. Fantastic, right? Well, let's see when our confirmation indicator told us to go short. Was it 7 candles ago or longer? Let's count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, even further. 8, maybe not 9, 8 candles ago. So this is another trade we don't take. And that's another immediate loss that we didn't have to suffer. 76 pips, give or take, on that one. Pretty sweet, traders. You just put those pips right back into your pocket. And again, the toughest part on this, I think, is just knowing to watch out for it. Because per pair, you might only get this thing once a year, if that. So it's just really remembering to look for it. So I don't know what you want to do. Put it up on your whiteboard, put it down in your notebook off to the side. Remember it, but just know this thing works really well when it happens. It's just a matter of catching it. I know we got some slick programmers out there that could probably automate this phenomenon, but for the rest of us mere mortals, you're just going to have to look for it and do your best to remember it, because the success rate of it, I found over time to be really, really, really high. So let's put some numbers behind it the best we can. What can this do for you year over year? So we'll be conservative here. We had, what did I show you? A 50 pip save, and then like a 58 pip save, and then like a 76 pip save for 28 pairs. If it happens once a year on 28 pairs, we won't even say it does that. Let's just say 20 times a year, because you might have those situations where it happens on the Euro Aussie, but it's also happening on the Euro Kiwi. Or you might have a situation where your volume indicator already told you not to trade, so it's totally irrelevant. You know, we're just going to drill down. We won't even say it's going to happen once a year on all 28 pairs. We'll just say once a year on 20 pairs. And then let's just say it only saves you 50 pips. So we'll go much more conservative than what I've already shown you on the charts up until now. I can make no claims, so all things told, it's best to be conservative here. 20 times 50 is 1,000 pips a year. And you just tack this on to what you're already making. So think about that. If you're a one-lot trader, standard one-lot trader, that's $10,000 a year. If you are a mini-lot trader, that's $1,000. If you only trade half that, if you only trade half mini lots, that's $500 a year that you didn't have before, just by employing this one little tactic. Dude, I laugh when I think about it. Like it's free money almost. So I can't really say what to do with your money. You know, any money I make in Forex, I like to try to roll as much of it over as I can. But in this case, it's so blatant and abusive how well this works and how many pips it puts in your pocket over time. And you don't even pay attention to it, but once you really put pen to paper, it can be a lot. And I'm tempted to just take that money and spend it. I mean, do this for a year. Find out how much this makes you. And if it makes you $500 a year, that's just extra bonus money. I mean, go spend it. Go spend it on something ridiculous, like some pimp shit, like those Dyson fans that don't look like they blow air, but they do. And then every year thereafter, just like keep buying them over and over. Just put them all over your house, like a total G. It's amazing what one little tweak can do, especially when it works this well. And it's just worked so well for me for so long. And I'm kind of glad I waited to bring this to you so you could have some time testing and trading out that system. But I definitely wouldn't leave you guys without this, because I just see this as a total bonus. And who wouldn't want that? So in conclusion, you still got to test this thing, because what works for me doesn't always work for you. The good thing is most of you guys have already back tested one or more systems already. So just simply inserting this part into it should not take you too long. And if you see good results with it, then great, enjoy your bonus. But if you don't, well, that's fine. You know, at least we tried. It's definitely worth trying. But I cannot guarantee results. Just know that ahead of time. But give it a whirl. See what happens. And always remember to look for it, though. This is really the hardest part. It works so much more than it doesn't, but not if you let it go by. So whatever you have to do to remember to look out for it, do that and make sure that you don't miss these opportunities. And then if you find out it works and you use it for a year or so and you find out that it's giving you a bunch of pips that you wouldn't have had before, well then great. Enjoy your bonus. Just remember your boy over here. Maybe email me and take a picture of what you bought with the money. But traders, if you like things like this, even if you don't completely know what we're talking about because you haven't done all the stuff we've done so far, it's never too late to try. It did not take my traders very long to put all this together, and it won't take you long either. But you need to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already, because new videos come out every Thursday, new podcast episodes come out every Monday. And you can ask my traders, the ones that have caught up with everything and watch everything and actually put this into play. Really good things happen, and then I come along with new videos to just make things even better than they were before. That's how this works. I'll put the beginner's video down below in the description. Whether you're a beginning Forex trader or not, definitely check that out because that will show you the best way to navigate this channel, because there's already quite a few videos on it. And by quite a few, I mean over 100. So yeah, there's a lot. But for my advanced no-nonsense Forex traders, I hope this serves you well. I hope I was able to explain it okay. Sometimes you have these things buried in your head and you've never really talked about them, and then you do, and you just don't know how well they take. But I wish all of you the best. Put these lessons in play and go get it.